Can you beat WoW by only fishing? Well, yes, some people. You can't even really beat WoW. I think you beat WoW by setting your own personal goals and accomplishments. And for Rodfather here, his goal is to collect all the fishing collectibles and achievements in the game without doing any other content. We are back for another episode of FishLocked, ladies and gentlemen. My new series where we play through World of Warcraft, but we only do fishing content. If you haven't watched the first episode yet, well, make sure you go check that out so you can get, the full context of how we're playing the game and where we're currently at. Because while last time we were fishing in the old classic zones, as well as we went to the Outland and did a lot of stuff there. But today, our fishing journey takes us to see what we can find in the Northrend. Of course, we're going to be going after everything that's here. There's a whole faction full of fishing rewards that we're going to have to grind reputation for. There's multiple new pets, new quests, and even a mount. So no more wasting time, I headed over to Chromie and I turned on Wrath of the Lich King time walking, and then I hopped on the Zeppelin ride to Northrend. We flew smoothly into Borean Tundra, and as soon as I got off the Zeppelin, I ran straight for the shores of Northrend. I wanted to get straight to the different Tuskar towns so I could figure out where the reputations started and kind of get the flight paths so I could travel around to. So I ran pretty much across the entire southern coast of Northrend. But all these towns were on the coast of Northrend, so I was hitting them along the way, getting the flight points. And we stopped when we got to Kamagua. I think I said that right, I'm not sure. And this was the big hub for the Tuskar and their faction called the Kaluak. I also don't know if I'm saying that right. So you know what, from now on, I'm probably just gonna call them the Tuskar faction. And the quartermaster for this faction had some great rewards to work towards here. Most notably, we got a penguin pet and a new fishing rod. But for both of these, we would need to get up to Exalted, so this was probably going to take some time. Now, to earn reputation with these Tuskar, you have to do daily quests. But guess what? The daily quests, they aren't there at first. You have to unlock them by doing different quest lines in the zone. And then once you finish the quest line, it'll unlock the daily quest from now on. So that's pretty much what I did to start. We started over here in the Howling Fjord. This quest line sent me all around the place. I was doing all kinds of stuff, digging up stuff from graves, putting stuff back in graves. I was collecting gambling debts. There was one quest where I was trying to get on a pirate ship and I got completely stuck and I had to character unstuck myself. But boom, we finished Howling Fjord and then we moved in to Dragonblight. In Dragonblight, we did the quest line there, we finished it up, and then we unlocked a new daily in Dragonblight. Now also, while I was in Dragonblight, I did end up getting 75 Northrend fishing skill. So now, technically within my rule set, I can move into Cataclysm whenever I wanted, but we still have a lot to do here in Northrend. We were just getting started. And when I was done with Dragonblight, we headed into Borean Tundra, where we came from. And when it came to quests that gave reputation, this zone definitely had the most of them. We had quest lines in 4 different areas in the zone. Doing all of these got me up to revered with the Tuskar reputation, as well as getting my character to level 23. And being revered now, I could buy this harpoon from the vendor, but I would have to be level 29 to use it. So again, it'd be a while. But being level 23 now, I wanted to leave Northrend for a minute. So we headed back to Orgrimmar. Because if you remember, in the last episode, we spent the end of the video farming for a pet named Mr. Pinchy. And we eventually got him a number of hours later, but I needed to be level 23 for me to use the item for him. Now that I was level 23, I went to my bank and I grabbed him. I also realized after making my last video, and some of you pointed it out in the comments as well, if you read the item a little closer, it's actually just a chance at getting the pet, not actually the pet. And this chance at getting the pet only has 3 charges, so if we don't get him in these 3 charges, we have to farm another Mr. Pinchy for hours. And if you fail, you have to wait 4 hours before you can try again. But luckily I got him on the first try. And this makes Mr. Pinchy here our first pet in the FishLocked challenge. Also, a complaint that I have, because the pet, his name is clearly Mr. Pinchy. And I wanted to rename him Mr. Pinchy because that's his name. And if you try to do that it says that the name is inappropriate. Like, I didn't come up with the name, Blizzard, you did. So like, what are we doing here? Now, while I was here, I went ahead and I did my Orgrimmar fishing daily, which this one sent me to Thunder Ridge and Durotar, where I would electrocute some fish or something like that. And when I finished that, I turned it in and I realized the fishing trainer had a new quest. He told me on this quest that I was too good of a fisherman for him to train anymore. So I would have to go and find his friend, Nat Pagle, in Duskwallow Marsh. And everyone knows Nat Pagle. He's the most famous fisherman in Azeroth. And finally, I'm getting sent on my way to find him. I thought, hey, why not go ahead and just do this now? We get a little break back in the classic zones, so I headed over to Nat Pagle's place in Duskwallow Marsh. And while he has an upgraded hideout spot from how it is in Classic, he still has the same quest that he had to catch rare fish all over the world. So I went ahead and I started out by going to Stranglethorn Vale, and while I was trying to find this rare fish for him, I found more crates to fish up, and I thought, why not? Maybe we get some more gear, and we did get some more gear, including some shoulders, and I finally, after all this time, got myself a weapon. So I could actually use my abilities now. And even after a ton of fishing, I was still not able to catch this fish that I needed for the quest. And I was so confused because I thought, there's no way it's this rare, right? But I said, whatever, we're gonna prevail. And I left. But I left just to get a change of scenery. We went to Swamp of Sorrows where there was another fish for the Nat Pagle quest. I also just straight up couldn't find it here. And I was fishing here for an hour or so too. It was ridiculous, I thought. The next day, though, I headed back to Orgrimmar to do my daily quest before going back to Northrend, and the daily was just to get more toxic puddlefish. We'd done this one before, but when I turned it in and I opened my bag of shiny things this time, we got the best item that there was to get from it, the jeweled fishing pole. Now, this is the swaggiest item we've gotten so far. I look like a straight up fishing pimp now with this thing, and it had plus 13 fishing skill, which is the same thing that the rod from the Tuskar would have, but the Tuskar rod has underwater breathing, so I still want to get it. And I want to get all the rods anyway, no matter what. Even if it's an upgrade or not, I still gotta get them all. I headed up to Northrend now, though, because it was time to hit the Tuskar dailies that we unlocked yesterday. Now, these quests are pretty much just the same ones every day, so I want you to keep in mind that I'm gonna do these every day, but I'm probably not gonna talk about doing them every day because it is just the same quest over and over again every day. But in Borean Tundra, the daily quest just wants us to take a bunch of baskets of supplies from these Vrykul that are just constantly at war with the Tuskar here. And then after that, we move over to Dragonblight, and for this daily quest, we head into camps of these little wolf pup guys, and we steal 12 of their cubs. Yep, just straight up kidnapping their kids, and we bring them back to the Tuskar. And then when we're in Howling Fjord, we gotta jump in the water, grab some little fishes to use as bait, and then we make these two walrus-looking things make love, have babies, something like that. And doing these 3 dailies every day would give me 1,500 reputation. So doing some quick math, it was going to take me about 11 more days to get to Exalted. So again, this is going to be something that I do every day for 11 days. Even if I don't mention it every time I do it, I'm still doing it. And doing these also gives me a fair amount of daily XP. So we will be able to level up our character for going forward. And I also found out at this time that there was another daily quest in Dalaran, and there was an achievement for doing every daily quest that could appear here as well. So of course we're going to be working towards this one as well. And for the first daily, she sent me to Sholazar Basin. And I don't know exactly what happened in this quest, but I traveled down there to Sholazar Basin, and I did one singular cast, and in my one singular cast, we got the quest complete. I'm not sure what happened, but it happened, and I headed back to Dalaran, and I turned it in. And these Dalaran dailies, well, they would also give XP and a bag, just like the ones from the Orgrimmar quest with the same loot table. But now, it was time to spend time here in the city of Dalaran itself, because, well, I got 2 different achievements here that I wanted to get done. There's I Smell a Giant Rat, which is an achievement to, well, catch a giant rat down in the Dalaran sewers. But we're going to go after a different one first, called the Coin Master achievement. And this one, you actually have to get 3 different achievements, and all these achievements are about catching coins in the Dalaran fountain. There's bronze coins, silver coins, and gold coins. And each achievement is just to catch every coin of that type. Every coin is from a specific character in World of Warcraft's lore, and comes with a quote from them as well. And well, we have to collect every single coin. Some of these coins' quotes are lighthearted and funny, some of them not so much. Some of these are crazy, because Kael'thas's coin says, "That young apprentice Jaina is quite attractive for a human. I hope she recognizes my elegance and power." And then Jaina says, "Arthas, my love, please come back to me." And then Arthas says, "Already, I have a kingdom in my prospects, a land to rule. What else to ask for? Perhaps a frozen scone?" Like, what is going on here? And yes, you can, and you will, catch many duplicates before you get all of them. I thought the grind for Mr. Pinchy in the last episode was rough, but this one was nearly double the time. Granted, I did get to sit still the whole time. I didn't have to run around to different pools, but this took me multiple sessions where I only took breaks once a day to do my fishing dailies, but about 10 hours of gameplay total of just fishing here. I was finally done, and I had a shit ton of coins and tons of duplicates. And getting this Coin Master achievement also gave you the Titanium Seal of Dalaran toy. And with this toy, you just throw a coin, and it says in the chat that if it landed heads or tails. So hey, you know, I could start like a gambling business or something with this, or just gamble with my friends when we go fishing. This made me start to hate Dalaran. We weren't done there yet, but I needed a break, so I decided to go for the Northrend Angler achievement, which I don't know why I didn't go for this one first, but oh well, it didn't even take that long in the first place. It was just a bit of traveling around in Northrend, and pretty quickly after that, we got it. It took like 30 minutes. But, like I said before, we needed to catch a giant rat, so we headed back to Dalaran, and more specifically, we headed into the sewers of Dalaran, and I got to it. And once again, the only breaks I took was going to do my daily quests. But I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was starting to lose my sanity when I was going for this rat. I spent hours on end down in these sewers, wondering when it would drop, and after a while I would spend some time on some forums trying to see if anybody was talking about this thing, and with time walking on and different loot changes throughout the years, because it's been so long since Wrath of the Lich King, I was starting to question if this thing even existed anymore. I couldn't even find anybody in forums saying that they have caught this recently. So yeah, I was starting to lose hope on if this thing even existed. And as much as that coin achievement sucked, this one was taking even longer. And it's not like the longer you take, the closer you are to getting it. Nope, cast number 5000 still gives you the same drop chance as cast number 1. And really, when I thought I was losing it, it took 15 hours total of fishing down in these sewers, but it dropped 2 pets for us.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, I got it. Look at that, let's summon that boy. Holy shit, he is giant. Oh, he's so fucking fat. And all that was left was for me to get my hands on that sea turtle mount. Now, funnily enough, I actually got this sea turtle mount in Wrath of the Lich King Classic just a few years back when that was happening, and the character I got that on only had fished like 100 times total, so I don't think I'll be getting that luck again, so I think we're gonna be spending a lot of time trying to do this. So I went ahead and I spent the next few days just fishing around in different zones, mostly Grizzly Hills, Sholazar Basin, and the glaciers down in Borean Tundra. And I was really hoping for this sea turtle to drop. And of course, you know, I was still doing my dailies, but I didn't have any luck with the sea turtle. And I decided enough was enough, and it was time to move on. Because honestly, I needed a change of scenery from Northrend. I was actually spending a lot of time here. I spent a lot more time on this episode than the first episode. But this isn't the end of the road. The sea turtle, it can also drop in Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria zones. When I found that out, that actually encouraged me to maybe move on to the next part of this series, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to find this sea turtle. But maybe we'll find it in the next zones. Because Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, that's exactly where our adventure continues in the next episode. But Northrend is amazing. There's plenty of places to fish. And what I want to start doing at the end of the episodes is giving a highlight or my favorite spot location to fish at. I don't know, fishing highlight spot, a fishing spotlight. And while I love Grizzly Hills, it's one of my favorite zones in the game. My favorite spot to fish at is this place in Dragonblight called the Emerald Dragon Shrine. It is just so chill here. Just turn on the music here and just relax. This place is just straight up awesome. There is Ysera, who is like either nonstop yawning or nonstop yelling in agony. I can't quite tell, but you know, I think she's probably okay, right? Maybe. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for your support on this series. I really didn't expect the first episode to do so well. I was kind of shocked and stoked to see that so many people cared about a random series about fishing. You know, yeah, there was a few hate comments, you know, saying it looked dumb, stupid, a waste of my time, a waste of my life, and that I was playing the game wrong. Well, I don't like playing the game right. There was a lot more positive comments than negative comments, so I'm going to take those and run with it. I did see a lot of comments encouraging adding cooking to the challenge, and I think I might do that. I think in the future, we might add cooking to the challenge, but we can only cook up stuff that we fish and do, you know, fishing-related recipes. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Make sure you subscribe if you want to follow the series, and peace out.